Hi and welcome to BCS Careers Inspiration. This series is designed to introduce you to a range of different people who've chosen a career in technology. Just hear about their background and experience and find out a little bit about what their job is like. So I'm joined here by Charlotte Bradley, who is a cybersecurity apprentice. Welcome, Charlotte. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, would you be able to just tell us a bit about the job you're doing as part of your apprenticeship and what kind of things it involves?
Yep, so I'm currently based in the Department for Work and Pensions in the Security Monitoring and Investigations team. So if we receive any alerts and any suspicious emails or if that there's some weird activity going on in the network, then my job is basically to investigate that and make sure everything's okay.
Awesome. And obviously, because of the nature of your role being in security, then it's quite not able to disclose quite a lot of details about what you do. But if you are able to tell us about something you've currently or recently have worked on that's of particular interest.
So at the moment, we're starting to get a bit more involved in forensics related investigations. So if a specific device has been targeted, then we will look at if there's any particular malware on there that we've seen before and just study its behavior. So it's very technical. I don't want to bore people by going into too much details, but yeah, that's kind of what we're going into at the moment.
Okay, and then how did you get to where you are today on the apprenticeship? Were you doing a job before that, or were you always interested in security? Like how did you arrive to where you are now?
So I went back to college when I was 26 to do software development and computer programming. So originally I wanted to be a programmer. I felt like a bit of a career change. But on the course, there was a cybersecurity module, and that always stuck out in my mind. I managed to do some work experience when I was in college for web development stuff, got given a role there. But even though I was working in, I guess, web development, I still had that cybersecurity feeling in the back of my mind. And during the pandemic, there was a job opportunity that came up for this apprenticeship, and I applied for it, and very happy that I got through.
That's cool. And what was it about cybersecurity that kind of was particularly interesting to you?
I think it was just looking at how all the different kind of viruses work and Trojans, and it goes a lot. There's so much going on in the background into the individual cyber threat actors, and very sorry, just all the different people that work in the background and tackling them and making sure it's all okay.
Yeah. And I guess there must be quite an element of like job satisfaction to what you're doing as well, because you're helping to keep like the public safe and people's money safe. Do you find it quite like a rewarding career?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm bringing something or I have a sense of purpose because there's a lot of people that really rely on DWP services, a lot of
Mm.
vulnerable people. And fraud is something that DWP takes very seriously. So it's really nice to be part of a job role that helps support others.
Mm. And what would you say is the most like exciting part of your job?
When we get, I guess, an interesting alert or I'm trying to be careful here to make sure not to say anything that could breach anything. But yeah, if we get something that's a bit unusual,
Mm.
then we kind of go, oh, I wonder where's that come from? Is this something similar that we've seen before that's changed a little bit, or is this entirely new? Just all the ways that people come together to
Mm.
resolve a particular situation.
Yeah, okay, cool. And you are actually a multi-award winning cybersecurity apprentice as well. First of all, you've won the Government Security Apprentice of the Year in 2022. Can you tell us a little bit about that award and what it involved?
So I was tasked with researching a specific vulnerability that had been founded on one of our networks. And when I looked into this vulnerability, I basically found that there was it, it had been approached by multiple governments across the world, um, and we were kind of lacking a little bit in there. Not too bad, but I basically collected all the data and information together and said how it would greatly benefit the networks, how it would greatly improve our security if we were to incorporate this. And it just kind of kept escalating up to like different senior leaders. And that's how I was awarded with that, for writing that report and suggesting how we could improve our services.
Amazing, congratulations. And then you also recently won at some of the BCS Awards, the Cyber Apprentice of the Year 2022 as well. Can you tell us a bit about that one as well?
Yeah, that was also a surprising one to get a hold of, because so much had changed since the previous award and this one. And it was just really reaffirming that I'm on the correct work path and that I'm doing the right thing. And it's just motivating me to keep going with the work that I'm doing and taking on extra certifications and skills courses, and to just continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's great. Well done. And tell us a little bit about your typical working pattern and your interests outside of work as well.
So do you mean like day to day, what I
Yeah,
usually
day to
do?
day. Are you normally, for example, from home? What hours you normally work? Is it kind of set, or is it a bit like flexible? Just, yeah, things like that.
Okay, so in the civil service, they have very flexible working hours. I'm on the core hours team for security monitoring, so I have to be on around between 9 to 5 every day.
Hmm.
But as it's flexible, it's kind of like here or there, so long as it's within that time frame. Um, so yeah, I do about 7 hours, 30 minutes every day, uh, just investigating different alerts that come up. We've got different side projects as well that we're all involved in with different teams. I can't really go into what they are, but yeah, there is a range of different things that I do on my day-to-day work.
Yeah, cool. And outside of work, do you have any particular hobbies or passions or interests as well?
Sometimes I go bouldering if I get the time.
Okay.
Um, I also play some video games in my spare time.
What's your
Um,
favorite video game to play?
my favorite video game at the minute is Animal Crossing
Okay,
on the
yeah.
Nintendo Switch. Yeah, that's my favorite at the moment. But if I'm not doing those, I try to keep myself active. So I'll go to the gym, um, go for a walk somewhere nice. Just yeah, I try to balance my activities so that I'm not just cooped up at my desk all day.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, do you have any either tips for people who might be interested in getting into a similar role or a similar path like yourself, maybe either cybersecurity specifically, or maybe just an apprenticeship more broadly? Or is there anything you think like, oh, I wish I'd have known that when I started this journey as well? Yeah.
I think for tech in general, there's this very like siloed mind approach where you have to be smart, you have to get everything straight away, um, and that there's only really one direction you can go. But for cybersecurity, especially, the field is massive. There's so many different groups that rely on each other that even if you don't understand a particular area in technology, you'll be able to work just as well in a different area. And I guess not to put too much pressure on yourself. If you're not learning something quickly straight away, that's okay. You just need a few moments to take a step back and come back to it later. Everyone learns at different speeds. It's an industry where we all really need to support each other.
Thank you, Charlotte. That's a really good piece of advice to end on. Really appreciate your time and for sharing your knowledge and experience with the audience. Thanks very much.
Right, thank you.